It has been a long time since I played an Assassin's Creed game, but I was on the cutting edge way back in the day. Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio, Altair. I was a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but like most players, I fell off the bandwagon. Assassin's Creed has been going on for a very long time. I don't know if we're at the decade mark, but I would imagine we're getting very close. But Vikings and Assassin's Creed, that is something that I think the player base as a whole has been asking for since the beginning, and I am so excited about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is actually a game that Legacy Gaming will be covering in depth. I know a lot of you guys follow us because we cover games in depth like Minecraft Dungeons or Grounded. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be my game of November. I know everybody's going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077, but unfortunately, there's only so much time in the day, and covering big games like this requires a lot of effort. But let's start with something. We've got the official trailer. We're going to cover that too. But for today, I want to talk about this story trailer. There is more story and more life injected into Valhalla than I've seen in other Assassin's Creeds. And although I haven't followed every single game and played every single game, I do recognize that this one shows a lot more promise in terms of the story aspect. There's just a natural story here that almost follows the arc of history. Obviously, the Vikings are from Norway, and then they're fighting over England and all of the conflicts of the English area, and it's just fascinating. From a historical standpoint, obviously we know that Assassin's Creed isn't true to life, but there's enough reality in there that you can really feel it, and you can feel the connection and the tension with history. So let's check out Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the story trailer, and see what adventures await us in Norway and in England.
You intrigue me, Wolf-Kissed. Orphan and sibling, warrior and poet.
And they start right off the bat
many in one, it seems.
with these story elements.
I missed you, brother.
Randvi,
Introducing supporting characters.
bringing gifts and riches to share.
There's our hidden blade.
And new friends, I see.
A little tie-in with the
We
assassins
cannot
there.
stay in Norway, not without fueling more war. So we push forward. A new kingdom awaits.
Talking about
Here to
moving
Valhalla.
from Norway
I will
to
always be on your
England,
side, Sigurd.
taking the fight to the English.
Always.
Got the classic Viking longboats. Here we are in England.
Eivor, Sigurd, I give you England.
This
Beautiful
land
landscapes.
already has many rulers. From the cunning King Alfred of Wessex to the warmongering sons of Ragnar Lothbrok. They have no wish to share the kingdoms they have made their own.
I mean, it looks like The
I
Witcher
do not
3.
fear these men. Nor any others who would harm us.
Get a load of this. A raid, a pillage. New feature in the game. A little stealth action here. Brutal,
These
just
lands
brutal.
bring our people hope. I will do whatever it takes to make England our home.
And some sort of raid of some
The
sort. Not
Saxons
exactly sure
hunger
what
for
this
Norse
is.
blood. Let's give them a taste, brothers.
Oh, just brutal.
These conquests have given you a home, but there is more to this land, Eivor. A darkness unseen, an unknowable threat. One bound to England's destiny.
And here's how they're tying in the
And to
Templars and the
yours.
Assassins. And there we go. So there's a lot to really unpack here, and unfortunately, there's so many systems in the game, we're not going to be able to do that in a trailer breakdown video. But we, like I said, are going in depth with this game. My plan is to release a series of videos breaking down all of the different aspects, whether it be the combat, the stealth elements, the city building elements, and yes, there is a small city building or town building component to it. The thing about this game, guys, is that it's the most parallel to Witcher 3 that I've ever seen. I mean, it just looks like The Witcher 3. When they're showing those landscapes, and let's see if I can find them really quick. When they're showing those landscapes of England, I mean, just look at this and you think Witcher 3. Now, nobody argues that Witcher 3 is one of the best RPG games ever. It is. And Assassin's Creed has been developing their games for, like I said, nearly a decade. So there's a lot that they have going for it. They've got a great story. They've got a great concept in Vikings. They've got beautiful landscapes in terms of England and Norway, and they just have brutality that the Vikings kind of historically represent. And I think you see that in a lot of the combat. One of the most striking aspects of everything that we've seen from Valhalla is how brutal the combat is. Now, you can equip weapons in your main hand and your offhand, and that's going to give you access to new abilities. And that includes dual-wielding shields, dual-wielding one-handed axes, two-handed weapons. There's just a lot of brutality that can be kind of channeled through the new systems of wielding weapons in a main and an offhand, giving you access to different things. Now, of course, the cool thing about being a Viking is you can go on raids and pillages, and it's using that longship. That's a big component of the game, and I'm really excited to see exactly how that works. There's ways to kind of auto-travel on rivers, going up and down the coast of England, trying to find these little villages. Anything that you can see can be attacked, and there's just a lot. As you can see, there's all sorts of different kings and lesser lords in the game. There are all sorts of big beefy enemies, lots of just English faces that you want to punch in as a Viking. I'm not saying that as a normal person because that's just crazy, but as a Viking, you're protecting yourself. You're trying to fight for your lands, and they make that very clear in this trailer. Now, stealth is still a component, but it's stealth with ferocity. You just saw that scene right there where he runs up on that guard and just absolutely murders him. It's the most strength and ferocity that we've seen in an Assassin's Creed game, I think, ever. And I think that's going to open up the game to a lot of new players that just want a more brutal combat style. It's just a thing. People just like that. You see all sorts of different ways that they're killing people, all the different combinations, and you can't deny that people enjoy that type of thing. I know I do. It's just part of the Assassin's Creed experience. But in terms of the story, I want to see how they can connect all of that ferocity with everything that's going on in England, now connecting the Templars and the Assassins. It's going to be a huge challenge. It could be a hot mess. It could be just a smorgasbord of everything, and it could not work. But honestly, I haven't been this excited about an Assassin's Creed game in a very long time. Origins didn't do it for me. I just kind of skipped Odyssey. I probably should have played Odyssey, but maybe I'll go back to it after that. But everything leading up to this, I've really enjoyed. 1, 2, 3. I even played Syndicate a little bit. There's just a lot of goodness in Assassin's Creed. They just haven't hit that perfect mark in kind of the next generation of the game. I think Odyssey was very good from what I read, but like I said, I can't speak on it from personal experience. But Valhalla, I think, is a completely new beast. I think most people enjoy Vikings. I think most people are interested to see what being a Viking is like. And I think Valhalla is going to be an absolutely fantastic game. Even if it's not perfect, I think it's going to do a lot to move the franchise forward and show that they can take this game in a million different directions with different concepts. And moving forward, hopefully they explore some of those and really branch off from just kind of the standard, European, kind of like Assassin's Creed 2 in Italy. We've done Italy, we've done America, we've done now Norway and England. We need to do something hard in East Asia. Some sort of samurai version of this would be awesome. I think there was a smaller game that they did, but they haven't done a main one. So basically what I'm saying is Valhalla opens the doors for a lot of new and interesting concepts that kind of push the boundaries. And I'm excited to see what they can do with that, this entire series moving forward. Like I said, guys, we're going to be covering Assassin's Creed Valhalla in depth at launch. We do not have a press copy of this game, so I may be a little behind, but hopefully you're excited about my passion for the game because I am excited to play this. So don't forget, you can like and subscribe to Legacy Gaming if you want more Assassin's Creed Valhalla videos in your feed. And as always, join us on Discord. Our community of over 6,000 is spread across dozens of great games. So click that link below and join today. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching and play on.